Good morning, all. So we were discussing about interest rate parity theory. In previous classes, we have discussed all the three scenarios related to interest rate parity. Fine. So such type of question you may find in your some exam for 15 marks. So the question contains both interest rate parity and both purchase power parity theory. That's why we have mentioned we need to solve combinedly. We have to consider both interest rate parity theory as well as purchase power parity theory. So you can note down this problem. So Mr. So and so finds out the following information. So spot rate provided in the problem is rupees 69 per dollar, and the for 6 months forward rate is rupees 71 per dollar. So interest rate and inflation rates in both the countries are given. Particulars: 6 months interest rate in India is 7% per annum, and in US it is 5%. And inflation rate 5% and 4%. You have to note down interest rate is given per annum. For 1 year, India it is 7%, and for 1 year in US it is 5%. So 6 months inflation rate already given, it's 5% and 4%. Find out that the forward rate available, this is the anticipated market rate, this is the anticipated market rate after 6 months. So find out that the forward rate available is justifiable under IRP, interest rate parity theory, as well as purchase power parity theory. If both were to be considered, this is till here, this is the first part of the problem. From here, this is the first part. Find out that the forward rate available is justifiable under both the theories. Next question they are asking, if both were to be considered, what would be the expected 6 months forward rate? Is it justifiable? The first part of the question they are asking, you need to find out the forward rate under both the theories individually. Second part of the question they are seeking, you have to combine these two theories and find out the forward rate. And again they are asking, here you will get two forward rate. Under IRP theory, one forward rate, purchase power parity theory, one forward rate. And when you combine both the theories, you get another forward rate. And is it justifiable to present market rates available? So that means you have to compare the rate with the actual market rate given in the problem. So interest rate parity theory, to solve interest rate, again very easy to remember. It's like purchase power parity theory only. For purchase power parity theory, the formula was new exchange rate, that is P1 is equals to P0 into 1 plus inflation in home country divided by inflation in foreign country, IH divided by IF. The same formula, so under forward rate, considering IRP theory, so first we will solve under interest rate parity theory. So formula will be P1, that is new exchange rate, is equals to spot rate or old market rate or prevailing market rate multiplied by 1 plus RH divided by 1 plus RF, where you have to remember this formula, very important for IRP theory, where P1 is new exchange rate, P0 is old exchange rate or spot rate, RH interest in home country. RF is interest in foreign country. So please make a note of it. The formula for interest rate parity theory is new exchange rate, that is forward rate is equals to old exchange rate or spot rate multiplied by 1 plus interest. See, purchase power parity theory considers inflation. So after considering inflation in both the country, in home country as well as foreign country, we calculate new exchange rate or forward rate under purchase power parity theory. The similar formula for interest rate parity theory, this P1, that is new exchange rate or forward rate, is equals to old exchange rate multiplied by 1 plus interest rate in home country divided by interest rate in foreign country. So make a note of all these things. Now, in the given problem, 6 months interest rate 7% per annum. So maybe the interest rate 7% per annum. In US it is 5% per annum. But we need to calculate only 6 months forward rate because they are asking. Consider what would be the expected 6 months forward rate. So interest rate is given per annum. So you have to calculate interest in home country, that is RH, is equals to, in India it is 7% per annum. So for 6 months we need only 6 months. You are multiplied by 6 months. So 6 divided by 12 is 1 by 2. That means 3.5%. So interest rate in home country, it becomes 3.5%. And interest in foreign country, how much? It is 5% into 6 by 12. That is equals to 2.5%. Why are we calculating this? Because 7% and 5% are for a year per annum. We need the interest rate only for 6 months. So if you are paying 7% for whole year, for 6 months you are going to pay only 3.5% in India. As well as in foreign country, that is in US, if the 5% is for entire year, then for the 6 months you are paying 2.5%. Now, 3.5 and 2.5. You put all these data in the given formula. That is, new exchange rate is equals to P0, that is spot rate is 69 multiplied by 1 plus 0.35 divided by 1 plus, how much was this? So 3.5% divided by, in US it is 2.5%. So that is equals to 69 multiplied by 1.035 divided by 1.025. That is equals to, 69.67. 69.67, that is P1. P1 is nothing but $1 is equals to rupees 69.67. So you have calculated the new exchange rate P1, that is 69.67 per dollar. Now the market rate, actual market rate is 71 rupees 71 per dollar. If you consider interest rate parity theory, it would have been rupees 69.67 per dollar. No, you have to make a note of this. So somewhere I am writing here. So rupees for IRP, we got rupees 69.67 per dollar. Now you have to calculate forward rate considering PPP theory, purchase power parity theory. So the formula will be new exchange rate is equals to old exchange rate divided by old exchange rate 1 plus inflation in home country divided by inflation in foreign country. So P1 is equals to P0. Remember the formula for purchase power parity theory. It is P1 is equals to P0 into 1 plus inflation in home country, that is IH, divided by 1 plus inflation in foreign country, that is IF. So the spot rate given in the problem is 69 per dollar into inflation in India 6 months inflation rate. It's already given 6 months only, so no need to calculate again. So 1 plus 0.05% and in US it is 4%. So 1.05 divided by 1.4. 69.66. P1 is equals to 69.66. That is $1 is equals to rupees 69.66. So we have calculated forward rate under purchase power parity. We got rupees 69.66 per dollar. So under IRP we calculated for 6 months forward rate as rupees 69.67 per dollar. Under purchase power parity theory, it is rupees 69.66 per dollar. Now, what they are asking? Find out that the forward rate available, that is the market rate, is justifiable under IRP and PPP. That means justifiable in the sense, is this market exchange rate between rupee and dollar, thus it matches with these two theories. According to these two theories and the actual market rate, is this equal or justifiable? So you can see and you can write the conclusion yourself. Considering interest rate parity theory, the forward rate, the 6 months forward rate is rupees 69.67 per dollar, and the actual market rate is rupees 71 per dollar. Hence, market rate is overpriced, or market rate of rupee is overpriced. So that means they are asking whether the actual market rate is equal to the forward rate under interest rate parity theory. So we have calculated forward rate under IRP theory. We got the answer is rupees 69.67 per dollar, but the actual market rate is rupees 71 per dollar. So it is not considering the IRP theory. The 6 months forward rate is so and so, and the actual market rate is so. Hence, market rate for rupee is overpriced. So it cannot be justifiable because these two are different. Now, if you consider PPP, you have to write this conclusion line in your SEM exam also to get full marks. So considering PPP theory, 6 months forward rate is 69.66 and the actual market rate. So the market rate of rupees again overpriced. So first part of the problem is over. Now we have to combine these two theories. If both were to be considered, considering both IRP and PPP, so calculation of old exchange rate multiplied by 1 plus RH divided by 1 plus RF. This is the interest rate parity theory. P0 into 1 plus RH divided by 1 plus RF. So this is the IRP theory, and we are combining both the theories now. So the formula for purchase power parity theory is 1 plus IH divided by 1 plus IF. So that is equals to 69 into, that was 1.035 divided by 1.025 multiplied by inflation in home country is 1.05 divided by 1 point foreign country is 0.4. So that is equals to 74.98 divided by is rupees 70.33. That is P1. So P1 is nothing but $1 is equals to rupees 70.33. So very easy to calculate. We have combined both the formulas here. 1 plus RH is 1 plus RH divided by 1 plus RF is interest rate parity theory formula, and 1 plus IH and divided by 1 plus IF is PPP theory formula. So we have combined these two. We got the answer for each dollar. It is 70.33. So now again write the conclusion. So you can make a note of it. You can note down the solution. Considering both interest rate parity theory and purchase power parity theory, the 6 months forward rate is rupees 70.33 per US dollar, but the actual market rate is rupees 71 per dollar. Hence, under market rate, the rupee is overpriced. So you have to write conclusion also. Very simple to understand. If you combine both IRP and PPP theory, it is 70.33 per dollar. And the actual market rate or prevailing market rate after 6 months is rupees 71 per dollar. So if you combine both the things, you get only rupees 70.33 per dollar, but the market will be depreciated again, rupees 71 per dollar. So almost 67 paise. So under market, rupee is overpriced. But if we consider both the IRP and PPP theories, it is only 70 point. Rupee have to be, the exchange rate might have been rupees 70.33 per dollar. And so now you calculate yourself. Dollar 1.25 per sterling pound, and 3 months forward rate is dollar 1.85 per sterling pound. Interest rate in US is 6% per annum, and in UK it is 5% per annum. So 6 months, it's only 3 months. Inflation in US is 4% or 4.5%, and 3 months inflation rate in UK is 3%. The, so this is the problem you have to solve yourself for better understanding purpose. So please write on your notes and solve yourself. If you have any doubt, we will solve it later. Thank you.